Hi, I'm Shantera Chapman, president of Powher Consulting, and today I want to talk to you about social class or socioeconomic diversity. When talking about diversity, most people tend to think about race, ethnicity, and gender, especially when we're speaking about the workplace. But today I want to talk to you about an often forgotten dimension of diversity, social class. The class disadvantage matters for organizations because it excludes from the management ranks a group that may produce better than average leaders. A study using data from the U.S. military, for example, suggests that individuals with lower social class origins are less self-centered, which sets them up to be more effective leaders. We've learned a good deal in recent years about how social class inequities affect access to jobs and promotions. But what we've learned is still mostly ignored by U.S. companies, even though celebrated for their diversity and inclusion efforts. In 2020, for example, not one of the companies on Diversity Inc.'s top 50 companies for diversity mentioned social class in their diversity, equity, and inclusion goals and programs. So what can be done? I will share with you 3 things Paul Ingram from Columbia Business School says. Number 1, add social class to your DEI goals. Many companies have successfully increased the representation of women and racial minorities in their managerial ranks by setting specific DEI goals, backing them up with smart programs, and holding themselves accountable for results. The same approach works for social class. Number 2, push back against degree inflation. A recent study found that 67% of job postings for production worker supervisor in the United States required a bachelor's degree or higher, even though only 16% of the people who already held the title had that qualification. By demanding an educational credential that was not necessary for performing that job, recruiters were exacerbating social class disadvantage. Number 3, promote the best candidates from every department. Departments and organizations tend to be stratified according to social class. People with higher origins cluster in higher status departments. Those with lower origins work in less visible groups. Because companies often seek candidates for managerial roles from only a handful of departments, the odds are stacked against some of the best candidates simply because they work in the wrong place. In recent decades, companies have focused on building programs that improve the representation of women and racial minorities in management. That work is far from over, but it demonstrates that the barriers to inclusion and equity are surmountable. As research reveals the powerful negative effects of the social class disadvantage, we must expand our DEI efforts to improve the representation in management for workers in lower social class origins. We have a long way to go in this space, but it can be done. Baby steps are better than no steps at all. Well, that's all I have for you today. Be sure to check out our blog on our website that features more of my previous videos at powherconsulting.com/blog. If you have questions about social class diversity or any other consulting or learning and development needs, reach out to me at Shantera@powherconsulting.com. Have a great week. Bye.